morning, everybody. Saturday morning, I'm out in the shop ready to start preparing these blanks for the next Chaos glue up. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break from that. I refilled my glue bot last night. It was almost empty. We're going to go ahead and get these glued up. That way, if by some stroke of luck I get all of these and all of these squared up and ready to go today, perhaps I can cut these into blanks later this evening. Thought I'd show you guys my floor and the top of my table saw. What a mess. The blade is extended pretty high above the table because I've got to account for the 3/4 of an inch of the sled and then the height of the highest blank. So it tends to throw a little bit of chips. But here is Chaos 1. Two sides of each blank, you can see the X's on them, have been squared. So they're ready to glue side to side, but we need to run them back through the saw and trim the ends to make sure those are square. We're going to pause on that for a minute. And we're going to go ahead and get set up to square these. While I'm doing this process, it's painfully slow. I'd love to get it over with. And then we'll put our sled back on the saw top and we'll go ahead and square both sides of each of the blanks for both of the glue ups. At that point, we'll be ready to start spreading some glue. I've got the Chaos Collaboration number 2 blanks squared on two sides. They are ready to have the ends squared. I'm going to get the table saw set up to do that. I'll probably clean it off first. But take a look at this. Let me show you how deep this is. Look at that. That's a lot of sawdust. It's not bad anywhere else. I mean, behind the saw, there's nothing. You know, on the floor, but on the sides, there's nothing. It's all that blade having to be up so high, throwing it forward. And I even had my vacuum here as well, because I got the dust collector bringing it out of the bottom of the saw. I had the vacuum here and I could see dust going into it. That's why there's a nice big pile right there in front of the vac. But it just throws it out. I've got to find a way to try to capture that in the future because it just makes for a mess. I'm not going to clean this up just yet. I'm going to go ahead. I'll clean the top of the saw off. We'll get set up for squaring the sides. And when the sides are squared, then we'll clean all this up right before we start our glue up process. We are officially set up. All of the blanks from Chaos 1 are here on the table. You'll be able to tell because Chaos 1 uses green ink and Chaos 2 was using a pink marker. So when you see these blanks pictured on Instagram or here on the What You Doing Bob channel, if you just notice the color, you'll know if it's Chaos 1 or Chaos 2. Got the blade raised to the proper height. That is the height of the tallest blank, which is this one right here, this rock hard maple. And I'm squared 90 degrees to the blade. We are ready to cut both ends off of our blanks. We're going to do this for both sets of blanks. Then we'll do a massive cleanup and we'll start our gluing. Chaos 1 have been squared on both ends. They are 100% ready for glue up. And over there on the table saw, I'm sitting down because my back hurts, my feet hurt, and I'm really tired. But that is Chaos Collaboration number 2 waiting to go through the blade and get both ends squared up. We will be doing a little bit of glue up tonight, it looks like. We're making great progress. I don't know how much will get glued up, but we will get started. In regard to Chaos 2, I still have 2 people who owe me blanks. If you have not received an email from me stating that I received your blanks, you need to get in contact with me if you've mailed them. If they got lost in postage, we'll figure it out. It's not a problem. But I've got to have your blanks before I start gluing these up, because once I start gluing these up, it's too late. The main blank is already formed. If you haven't sent them yet, I'm going to visit the post office on Monday. If they're there, great. If they're not, I don't think I'll get much past Monday before I start glue ups. So there are 2 people who I think are probably we're going to have to work out something where we send their money back or something, because they're just not going to be able to be a part of the collab since they were unable to get their blanks to me. As soon as those are squared, before I take the saw apart, look at the dust on those. I'm going to get these cut. They've been drying since early this morning, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. So they are ready to be cut into blanks. And once that's done, we will clean this mess up and get the shop in shape so that we can start gluing. Chaos Collaboration 2 blanks are squared on both ends. All of these blanks are ready for glue up. We'll begin the glue up of Chaos 1 shortly. But first, before we clean all of this mess up, I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 blanks on the table saw, get them cut into long blanks. Then we'll get them on the bandsaw and get them cut to length of about 5 inches per blank. I am about wore out, and man, am I tired of cutting. It's been a long day. Not too bad. I got 4 nice blanks out of the small one. They'll easily cut to 5 inches apiece. These are probably 6, 6.5. And I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 nice blanks out of the larger one. And you can see, I always make sure that the grain runs from end to end of the blanks. So what we're gonna do now is get these over to the bandsaw and get them cut into 5-inch blanks. I got the blanks cut. Out of the small blank, I got 2 5-inch blanks. This one's about 5 and maybe a half, and 2 4-inch blanks. That's perfect. Out of the larger blank, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 5-inch blanks. And these blanks, 2, 4, 6, 8 blanks, are all longer than 5 inches. And I just couldn't bring myself to cut them because if I cut that off, that's not enough to make a blank. So whoever buys these when I sell them, they're just going to get a little extra blankage for the money. So they're all different lengths, but I just couldn't bring myself to butcher them like that. So these are ready, and yeah, I'm super happy to have those done. It is time now to take a break and to get this shop cleaned up a little bit so that I can start the glue up process. Here is the Chaos Collaboration 1 blank. This is the way it's going to be glued up. You'll notice some really odd links over here. What we'll do is cut the long pieces off and fill in all of the, the shorter areas there to where it's a little bit more rectangular. I'm going to zoom down so that you guys can look for your names to see if you're in this collaboration or not. We'll go nice and slow over the blank. If you don't see your name here and you have sent me blanks, you're probably going to be in collaboration. Well, you're definitely going to be in collaboration number 2 if I've notified you I have your blanks. We have some gorgeous stuff here. Beautiful, beautiful wood. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for allowing me to be a part of this, because you guys have sent me some wood that I have never turned before. Woods that I would have never put into a collaboration, and I decided to do that. Now, some of you will see your name in here way more than 3 times, and that's because every blank that was sent for the collaboration, I included in the collaboration. I did not want to, have a bunch of blanks left over that I kept. I didn't think that was right, unless you specifically said in a note, and a couple people did, this particular blank is for you. In that case, I marked it with your name and kept it, and at some point in the future, I'll turn it into a pin. But this is your Chaos Collaboration blank, and we are now going to begin the process of gluing these blanks up. So stay tuned. Going to be another, this is going to take a little bit of time, but it is going to be worth. This is the biggest Chaos blank I've ever made. It is about 22 by 25, I think, if I remember correctly. It's going to be a monster. One other thing I want to talk to you guys about, notice how a lot of these blanks are the same length. So when I glue them up, I have nothing for the blank next to it to really glue onto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, for example, this second blank, and I'll take it to my bandsaw and I'll cut it in half, and I'll put 1/2 on this side of the blank. The other half I'll move to this side, and that way what we do is we kind of offset these to where I'm gluing this much material together, and then the next blank can sock right in there, and glue to that blank. It gives me a much tighter blank, and it gives a more interesting pattern. So I'm going to work on that as I'm gluing up. We'll just cut every other one and swap it from end to end and move forward from there. I think glue ups are going to take a while. That's a lot of clamps. These are really long sections. Takes a lot of clamps to get everything glued together. You can see where I cut the one on the end and just popped it to the other side. Did the same thing with this one. Popped it to the other side. And what that does is that allows me to offset the blanks so that I can glue blanks. The cut on these 2 blanks is in the middle of this blank, essentially. There's a ton left to do, but I only have 3 clamps left. So we're going to set a clock for about 20 minutes, and then we'll pop these clamps off and glue up another one. I got a number of blanks glued up in doubles. I got 2 I just put in clamps. I still have these to go. All of the blanks I am keeping an eye on, and I'm keeping them right around 26 inches. I got 2 blanks that I've pulled out. One is a half a blank that I cut, and one is a blank that just didn't fit. It made one of the rows 29 inches or so, so I pulled it out. We'll work it back in somewhere else. It has been a long day. I've been out here all day. I am pooped. I want to show you guys what I did over here. I cleaned these blanks up just for the heck of it. I don't know that I'll do that with all the blanks because it's a lot of work, but I really just want to see what some of these look like, and I'm pretty excited. These are here because I found cracks in them, and I'm going to fix them. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.